Folks, so welcome to Mala Mala Game Reserve. We are here with a female cheetah and her cub, center of screen. Yeah, but we can do either. The Game Reserve. Right, Tanya Broden, welcome. Idris Nazarov, welcome. Emma Dedricks. Ride, welcome. So we are in the eastern parts of Mala Mala Game Reserve today. And we got reports of this female cheetah and her cub. We think the cub is somewhere between maybe 3 and 5 months old. We saw this cub for the first time about a week ago. And if you listen carefully, you can actually hear the female purring like a house cat. So, just welcome to Julia Neves, Leslie Borta, Food Ninja 96, the Mr. Punisher 77, Leonidas, Cynthia Hill, Machiela and Kululeko, Annette, welcome. I believe this is the first time we've had a cheetah on our live streams. And it's a good day when it's a cheetah and cub. Gonna zoom in a little bit. Welcome to Jude's J, Chris VG, Rob Snowden, Annette Lane, Mohammed Gamia, Tofi, Matthew Arnott, thanks Shride, the phone does work well. Welcome to Pelo Howard. Umaira, welcome back. Johan Duplessis, Dizzy 1369, welcome guys. These Dizzy 1369 just asking, do these kitties have names? And no, they don't have names. Cheetah generally pass through Mala Mala as opposed to stay on it for any permanent amount of time. They're not as territorial as leopards or lions, and their home ranges are way bigger than a leopard's or a lion's territory would be. So we see them from time to time. We saw this cheetah in the northern parts of the reserve just a few days ago, maybe a week ago now, and they are now on the central parts of the reserve. They went east into Kruger and they've just come back west from Kruger side. Emma Haynes, welcome. I'll try a bit. They can. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so you can see that cub nursing. How's that looking, Pete?
So Cynthia asking how many, that looks good. Cynthia asking how many cubs. Cynthia, there's just one cub here. There would have been more earlier on. Cheetahs can give birth to up to 8 cubs in certain areas. So she probably, I'm guessing, probably had between 3 and 5 as an average. It's quite a high mortality rate. In this area, the biggest killer of cheetahs is lions. So she might have lost a couple to lions. So yeah, we've been seeing these 2 over the last 3-4 days, and we've only seen the mother with this one cub.
So Mr. Punisher 77, how do they get through the fences, or do the game parks not have fences between each other? There are no fences on any of our boundaries here at Mala Mala Game Reserve. To our east is the Kruger National Park, and to our west is the Sabi Sands Game Reserve and the Sabi Game Reserve.
But quite interestingly, in areas where there are fences, cheetahs, leopards and wild dogs in particular seem to find it quite easy to get through a fence. So although, yeah, she probably hasn't encountered the fence here, if she were to encounter one, she'd probably be able to navigate her way through it.
And they actually prefer spending time outside of those fences, because things like lions won't be able to come and catch them outside of the fence. They spend, I guess, less time out of these conservation areas than cheetahs and wild dogs or leopards typically do.
In fact, I think South Africa's healthiest cheetah population is along our northern boundary, where there's lots of a farming area where there are lots of fences, and it doesn't seem to restrain them too much.
So Tapelo Howard asking, so do lions eat them? They kill them more than eat them.
Yeah, so Tapelo, that would be the difference between what we term predation and competition. So predation is when an animal kills another animal to eat it, and competition is when they're killing it to eliminate it as a competitor for their food source. So lions and cheetah will both go after the same food in terms of impala and smaller antelope. Well, a coalition of male cheetahs can actually take down bigger prey like wildebeest, zebra, ostrich. But yeah, so they go after the same food source. So lions will kill them to eliminate competition. They won't eat them. They might take a bite or two, but they won't kill them for sustenance.
Tanya Broden asking, are we going to keep doing live streams after the lockdown ends? Tanya, we'll have to wait and see. It'll be a little bit more difficult to do live streams when there are guests driving around here, but perhaps we will. We'll try and iron out those details when the time comes, but it won't be anytime soon. Umaira Mayat asking, are there any lions around or near them? Right now, we don't know. About 2-3 days ago, we did see the Four Ways Pride a few kilometers north of here, but that pride could have moved very far off in a couple of days, or even closer. We don't know.
Also, about 2 days ago, the Kambula Pride weren't far from here. But she has placed herself in the middle of this big open area. You can't see it on screen now, but it'll be where she is now. It'll be quite easy for her to see if something tried to sneak up on her.
So Cindy Thomas, hello from Alberta, Canada. I'm enjoying the live streaming and uploaded videos. Thank you, Cindy. We appreciate your support. And then just at some point, we will show you who's in the vehicle. I know, Rita, you're asking who's there. Pete is commenting, as well as myself, Gareth, and then Dan is in the back here. He's been quiet thus far, but if you hear a camera clicking, that's Dan busy taking photos. We will make an episode on this cheetah and cub as well for our Mala Mala YouTube channel.
Lizette asking if cheetahs can climb trees for safety like leopards, rather. Lizette, not really. So where a leopard can fully retract its claws like your domestic house cat, a cheetah could only semi-retract its claws, so they can't climb up trees, although you might see the photos of them standing on trees which have kind of fallen over slightly. So if it's at an angle, they can scamper up it, but they can't ascend it. They can't ascend up a tree that's kind of growing straight out of the ground.
Jacques Proust, welcome, asking where are they?
Guess, Jacques, you have to guess.
And then also got a comment for Dan there.
And Andrew Sinkinson, yes, Andrew, we are live. I think that comment will talk to that. Mr. Jonas, yes, we saw the Martley lioness and her cub, also known as the Tsalala pride. We saw them day before yesterday near Campbell Koppies. We'll be posting a video of that soon on our on Mala Mala Game Reserve's YouTube channel in our Rangers in Isolation series.
And Tapelo Howard, strength to these live streaming. We really wish and hope that it grows from here forth. Likewise, Tapelo, thank you for your support.
And Shame Schmulowitz, that's a pretty good sixth sense you have there. Proved to work out for you today. And Rai, no, this is not a leopard, this is a female cheetah with her cub. The main differences are, if you look there, is that the cheetah, you can see it's got those two black stripes running down from both eyes. And she has spots as opposed to the rosettes that a leopard has. Also, leopard cubs don't have that, what's called a mantle, that kind of longer hair running down the back, well, running down the spine of or from the top of the head to along the back of that cub. And the theory is that that kind of longer, whiter hair makes it almost look like a honey badger. And honey badgers are quite formidable creatures out here, and they've got a kind of quite a deserved reputation of being ferocious, and a leopard or a lion would think twice about attacking a honey badger. So if the cheetah cub resembled a honey badger, the theory is that it might deter predators. Also, if they do get up and move soon, you'll see that cheetah walking through this dead grass. It blends in very well with that those highlights.
So some of the questions here about how old the cheetah is. Some of the rangers have said 3 months and some others have said 5 months. So maybe we should settle on 4 months. But we don't know the exact age.
So you can see there the cub is still drinking milk from its mother. So cheetahs will typically wean their youngsters of between 4 to 6 months. So it's definitely still younger than 6 months. And yeah, we're guessing at about 4 or 5.
So Flam Mom Chronicles, welcome from South Florida. Okay, so you're just going to keep quiet. I don't know if you can hear the mum purring there, just like a house cat would. It's the only one of the large cats that actually purrs like that.
Jacques Proust, you can see I've been out of Mala Mala for quite a while. Both those guesses are wrong. Keep trying. I suppose it's not really fair without a bigger... We'll zoom out in a bit to give you an idea of the terrain that we're in.
And Pete, did you see the sex of the cub this morning? Just a question there on whether it's male or female.
Yeah, I can say I think with about 80 to 90% certainty that it looks like a female.
Jacques saying grey hornbill calling must be Eastern Flockfield. There's also a cheetah in the screen that might also say that it's Eastern Flockfield. So Shame Schmulowitz saying Clarendon, that's where this cheetah and cub were first found, but we are indeed in Eastern Flockfield. Some of the ranges here, we're just waiting for a more sort of accurate guess as to where we are. But we are in Eastern Flockfield, which is quite a lot further south than Clarendon. Then Andrew Sinkinson asking where are we? I think you mean in the greater scheme of things. We are at Mala Mala Game Reserve, which borders the Kruger National Park. We are wedged between the Sabi Sands Game Reserve and the Kruger National Park. If you've ever been to Kruger or know anything about Kruger, you would know Skukuza Camp, which is the main camp in Kruger National Park, and we are pretty much directly north of Skukuza Camp. That's the southern parts of Malamala. You can see, asked a little bit about leopard. Is this a leopard earlier? See those black tear marks down the front of the face? Leopards do not have that. And cheetahs tend to hunt during the day, not only during the day, but hunting during the day also helps them avoid some of the other predators that rest up during the heat of the day. So those black tear marks help take the glare off of this very white grass you can see in the black background. Some sportsmen also use those black marks that they put under their eyes. I've seen cricketers do it as well as football players.
So Jono Short, hello back. So folks, Jono Short, who's just commented there. Jono Short and myself are the only known rangers in the recent history of Malamala to witness 2 cheetah mating up in Clarendon Open Area. Remember that, Jono?
It's a nice side profile. You can see how small her head is, and particularly the muzzle and the jaws. It's a very slender cat, not close to as powerful as a leopard or a lion. Though she stands about as tall as a leopard, she's a lot more fragile, not as stockily or powerfully built. Go for it. It's one of the important things, or important uses of a tail. So the young can learn by play, get their coordination skills good. You can see the youngster playing with mum's tail there. Their hunting skills.
So Shame asking, at what age will will that cub lose its mantle? I think it varies a bit, Shame, but I think any time now. I think it's already starting to get a bit shorter than what it was about a month ago, but I'd say around 4.5 months.
Jacques asking, what was the temperature yesterday in Fahrenheit? Jacques, can give that to you in Celsius. I think it was about 9 yesterday, but this morning was about 7 degrees. Actually, yesterday, early in the morning, there was some guys are out on an anti-poaching patrol, and there was frost on these seats, covering these seats while they were out there, so it was very cold. Pips asking, what's a cheetah's name? Pips, we don't give cheetahs names here because they don't stay on the property long enough for us to name them. They've got a very large home range, and in parts of the Serengeti where it's a bit more open and they have to follow the migration, that home range can be up to 800 square kilometers. I'm sure it's a bit smaller here, but it's still way bigger than, to have their boundaries within the Mala Mala Game Reserve.
And contrary to most of the other big cats, with cheetahs, the females will tend to occupy much larger territories than the males. And they also live more of a solitary lifestyle. Still trying.
Yeah. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, so it looks like we're back live again. Sorry about that. This is we'll get back to some of these questions in just a moment. This is very good quality viewing here right now.
There's pretty amazing interaction there between the mother and cub. It's bound to carry on just now. But you can't see in frame is behind us is Ranger Dan filming with quite a nice lens. So this footage that you're seeing now, we're actually going to make an episode out of and put it on our YouTube channel. So be on the lookout for that with some high definition close-up video of that mother and cub playing there. And that's the Mala Mala Game Reserve YouTube channel. So Bonnie Cornish Bowden asking, what will the cheetah do with her cub when she hunts? So Bonnie, they're at the age now where this cheetah, will follow her mom when she walks around. If the mother does come across prey that she intends to hunt, she will tell the cub will know, or she'll tell the cub to stay. It's probably in some long grass or in a little thicket, and it will kind of watch from a distance. The mother will hunt, and if she kills it, she'll call the cub and it will come out to her.
And then just hi to Grace and Sophie. We always enjoy knowing that we have some children watching. So I don't know if she is having a look around, but she was lying on this termite mound that you see in the foreground, slightly elevated and out of the grass. But the edge, the shade is moving as the sun moves, and the edge of the shade has just reached the termite mound now. So I don't know if she's just having a look around for prey, or if it's the shade that's moving that's made her get up. She is very alert. Mike Kirkman, welcome. Okay, so I'm just going to so if we move with these cheetahs now I can get a better idea for the landscape we're in. We're in quite an open plain. You can see how that cub disappears in the long grass.
There's also a good chance that our signal might be affected, so bear with us if it does start buffering. We will keep on following them and hopefully get into better signal areas.
Yeah, I think that's what I was kind of getting at. So we will try and follow them. But yeah, please bear with us if we do drop signal. Ravdeep Bula saying, why do these animals ignore safari vehicles? Sometimes these cheetahs aren't as relaxed with the safari vehicles, at least in this area, as the leopards are, just because you don't see them as often as the leopards. So it's lovely to have such a relaxed mother and her cub, letting us come right up to them. But generally in this area, the animals are very used to the vehicles. Okay, so we might not answer comments as we drive. That's just because we need to concentrate on where these animals are. Try and keep them in frame for you. Sorry. Okay, so it just looks like they found another shady spot here. Yeah. So we're just going to loop around here quick. Going to give you a quick idea of the landscape here. this set up. Then I'm struggling with the comments here, Pete. I don't know if we're actually live at the moment.
Yep. Yeah. So, Alan Fay asking, why do cheetahs die from lion attacks? They are so much faster, protecting their young perhaps. So probably most of those instances will happen either if the lions ambush them, or if cheetahs, you'll see if cheetahs kill something, as soon as they've killed it, they'll start eating immediately, and they eat as fast as they can, because they are at the bottom of the predator hierarchy. So hyenas, leopards, wild dogs, lions will easily chase them off a kill. They try to be as attentive as possible, but sometimes while they're feeding, if they kind of head down in the carcass trying to eat as much as they can, if the lions happen upon them, they could surprise them and kill them while they're eating.
Lawrence Jr., it's been a while. Welcome back. Pieter van Wyk, welcome.
So for those of you who are viewing us on Facebook, we are also broadcasting on our YouTube channel, and that's where we are reading the comments from. Maybe should I go to Facebook?
Yeah, I think you don't have to whisper. I think we can hear. I don't think whispering helps. Hey, Russ. Saying he misses us. We miss you too, Russ. You're missing out here a little bit. Need to get back here soon so you can film these guys. Gerald Wyndham saying it's 5 a.m. where I am. No regrets. That's good. Lawrence Jr. saying I'm about to enter the Kruger gate. The cars here are a lot. I'd imagine after this lockdown period, now that the park's gates are open, that there will be long queues to get into the park for day trips. I know just on an ordinary day there is.
Just for people viewing us on Facebook, to Lee, Stuart, Dennis, Yolandi, Sarah from Belgium, Andrew from Australia, Mary, welcome to this feed on our Facebook page. For those of you joining us now, we are currently with a female cheetah and her cub. We guess is around 4 months old. A little female cub, and we're in the kind of eastern parts of the central stretch of Mala Mala Game Reserve, bordering the Kruger National Park.
And then hi to Bruce, sitting with Russ. Nadav saying he's going to put this on the background because he has to study a bit. Good luck, Nadav. Wrote a mammoth 8-hour exam on Friday. I'm sure that went well. Bruce saying, please keep them there for another day. Bruce, I think this is the third time we viewed these cubs, twice in Clarendon, or this cheetah and cub, and then now in Eastern Flockfield. Hopefully they'll hang around until you get back. Hi to Marie Glux, welcome back. I hope I'm pronouncing your surname correctly. Pretty certain I'm not. Samso from Uganda, welcome. And then Maria van Wyk or van den Berg. So sorry not be able to visit South Africa this summer. Greetings from the Netherlands. The Netherlands.
Nice accent, Gareth.
Thank you. Salmon Huck making the comment, too bad the cub doesn't have any siblings to play with. This is true, but at the same time, it's probably a bit easier for mum to raise one cub than it might be 3 or 4. Nicole Meter, hello from New Zealand, welcome.
So on our Facebook page, Stephanie from Germany, Michelle from Portugal, welcome to our feed, folks. And Torkozizi asking if there are any other cheetahs close by, and not that we know of, but there may possibly be. But we haven't seen any close to these two this morning. About a week ago, we watched 3 young cheetah move through this exact same area, pretty much following the exact same path that this female and her cub have walked this morning.
So why do you think they would have walked that same path?
Probably because there's a connection of open areas that runs from the Kruger National Park through Mala Mala towards the Sand River.
Yeah, and Lawrence in the park, first animal he sees is impala.
Send one impala this way, Lawrence.
Yeah, chase them this way. Lawrence, I think you need to find some cheetah of your own if you're in the park now. Okay.
So yes, the male siblings will often stick with each other and form coalitions afterwards. When they do become independent and their mothers chase them away, often brothers and sisters will stay together for an extended period of time, but eventually they will part ways. And Becky, yes, they can have up to 8, but in this area I think the average is between 3 to 5.
Welcome Stuart Henry from a very cold Alberton. I imagine it's very cold up in the Highveld there. It's even cold here in the Lowveld where it should be warm. And then Maria van Wyk asking, Kruger is now open for residents of the province the park is in. That's correct. And only for day trips.
And Trucker Eddie asking if this is her first litter or if she's had others. We're not quite sure, Trucker, but I'd guess that she's had others before. She's not a very young female.
And then someone writing here in Arabic, sorry I can't read Arabic, but just to answer your question, it's not a silly question, how can I make this trip arrangements? So I know, if you Google Mala Mala Game Reserve, you can, I think even on later sightings, you can maybe book through them, but there's numerous agents that you can book through. Most agents do know, that deal with South Africa, do know of Mala Mala Game Reserve, or you can book directly with the Mala Mala through their website at malamala.com.
Najma said we're using a cell phone. So yeah, very low tech, but it does the job here. And Lizette, no, it's 5 to 8 cubs in a litter, so at one time. And Tapelo Howard saying she looks hungry. Tapelo, so with Cheetah, I mean, she probably, she's not starving and she's also not full. But remember, cheetahs are built to be more streamlined, built for speed, so they do often appear to be, you might think, oh, she looks quite skinny, but that's just their build. So I'd say she's kind of normal at the moment. She's not particularly hungry, but she's also not well fed. When they do kill something, because they eat so quickly in the fear that it might get stolen by another predator, it is quite funny to see how quickly their tummies bulge out, because they really do gouge themselves and they walk away like they've got a volleyball in their tummy. And Shaim, we do not know, but we'd assume so, and we'd guess that, I think it's a pretty safe guess that she did have more and then that they did not make it.
Got a very high mortality rate, so very few cheetah cubs actually survive to adulthood. Going to try and zoom in a bit so you can see that cub nursing there. It is in the shade, so it's quite difficult to see. And then Najma Sayed, forgive me if I pronounce your name wrong there. This is not in the Okavango Delta, that is in Botswana. We are in South Africa at Mala Mala Game Reserve, and we are next door to Kruger National Park. We are wedged between the Kruger National Park and the Sabi Sands Game Reserve. Cynthia Hill, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. And then,
sorry.
Go for it.
So newsflash asking, do you get animals from the Kruger coming into your property? So newsflash, We do not have any fences around our reserve, so it is completely open. And in fact, when we found this female, she just walked over from the Kruger Park onto Mala Mala. So those boundaries are only for humans, and these animals move freely between them. She doesn't know that she's on Mala Mala or in the Kruger.
And Tracker Eddie, of all of the big cats, do cheetahs have the highest cub mortality rate? I would think so, yes. Then what is the weather, the temperature? This morning it was very cold. It was 7 degrees Celsius. It was probably colder when it was dark still. Right now it's nice in the sun, but it's still, I'd say, maybe around the 20 degree mark, there and thereabouts Celsius. Cynthia saying, I don't know how to change that super chat amount. Cynthia, anything will do. Thank you very much.
Cynthia, if you want to make it less, then we don't know. If you want to make it more, then either way, we don't know. Sorry, but thank you.
And then Tapelo just converting that for us. 7 degrees is 44.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Jacques Proust. Then Robin, who was out early this morning, saying it was definitely colder than 7 degrees.
So Najma said the closest water for them to drink would be not actually too far from where we are. It's not a real body of water. We have quite a few tributaries that run into the Sand River and little drainage systems that go into those tributaries. So not too far from where we are, there will be some water in one of these dry riverbeds that still has seeped up from the ground. The Sand River would be the closest body of water of any significance, and that is still a couple kilometers from where we are now. So Lizette asking at what age the mom will introduce her cub to meat. So Lizette, generally the cub will be weaned between 4 and 6 months, and at the same time the cub will start getting introduced to meat. It's actually quite funny to see the first carcass a cub goes up to, because it'll be scared, it'll run away from it, and only after a bit of coaxing from the mother will eventually kind of get the courage to get closer to this alien thing.
Lawrence asking how long are we going to live stream today. Lawrence, not sure. We're just going to play it by ear. And if you can hear, I know it's a bit windy, but you might hear that Cheetah is purring now.
It's the cub.
Is it the cub?
Yeah. So the cubs will often purr while they are suckling from their mother. I think the cub's enjoying it a lot more than the mother.
Yeah, probably.
Sharp little teeth.
Is he looking for Dad?
Ben.
Yeah.
So as you can see in screen there, the top half of the mother is in the sun. As the sun climbs higher into the sky, the shade that she's in now is going to get less and less. There's a good chance she'll get up and move again soon. So just to give you folks some facts about cheetahs. So they are classified as vulnerable on the endangered species list. They are found in 23 African countries as well as one Asian country. I wonder if anyone can guess which Asian country cheetahs can be found in. In that country there are fewer than 50 individuals, whereas in Africa there are just over 7,000 cheetahs left in the wild.
And welcome to Arjuna Inn. Just saying hi, Gareth and Pieter. The fact that you are live streaming means that the cheetahs have come close to main camp, because they are not normally in Clarendon area in the northeast of Mala Mala. We are actually.
It's a good guess.
It is a good guess. But it's funny, this little piece in the eastern part of Mala Mala, probably about the same kind of line of latitude, maybe a bit south of main camp, has some signal, although it is quite patchy. So we are quite far from camp. We're on the eastern boundary with the Kruger National Park, but we found ourselves a pocket of signal here.
I think we are also in quite a bit of an elevated position. Yeah. Cheetah looks like she might have noticed something.
Then James Schmilowitz saying Israel. Is it Israel? Iran? India?
Iran. Whoever guessed Iran,
okay.
That is correct.
So it's Becky and RMB.
So all those who guessed India, it's a pretty good guess. So India has all of the big five. They've got lion, leopard, rhino, buffalo, and elephant. Cheetah used to be in India. They went extinct in India. I think there's a program now to try and reintroduce cheetah into India. But the only wild cheetahs outside of Africa are in Iran, to the best of my knowledge.
Sheikh Fatso Makhotzi saying that was well anticipated. I see she's up now. Well done, Pieter.
Well, yeah, the cheetahs are often, as I mentioned earlier, because they're quite low on the predator hierarchy, they're often on the lookout for danger. But she also hunts during the day, so she'll also be on the lookout for food. So so I'm not sure if she noticed a threat or potential food, but whatever she had thought she'd seen, I think it was maybe a false alarm.
And Colette Woodfield saying, what bird is that? Colette's a little bit difficult for us to tell. We do get asked this question quite frequently. But the time that it takes while we're filming, or while we're streaming this, there's about a 30 or 40 second lag or delay for us to see these comments and for you to see the pictures. And we're not quite sure when people ask us which bird it was that was calling at the time.
Yeah, there are quite a few birds calling at any one time, but if you're referring to the one that's making like a tick, 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 That is a southern yellow-billed hornbill.
She's just lying deeper in the shade there. Then keep local, asking is there any prey? Not that we can see, but doesn't mean that there is no prey around here. Okay, so we're just going to reposition quick. And there's quite a few drainage lines. Basically where you see these trees are the lower sort of valley-like areas in this area. And there might be prey species in there, but it's difficult to see in there from here. Certainly no prey species out in the open, and it's actually just really started to get quite warm now all of a sudden, so I think a lot of the animals will be finding not looking directly into the sun here. Fortunately, the way that shade works.
Shirley Long saying it's very dry here. Is it winter? And yes, Shirley, we have just entered winter, which is also our dry season. So typically the rains will stop in about April, and they'll only start again in November. Winter typically only lasts for 2 months, between June and July. In August it starts getting warmer again. But yeah, the temperature, it was very cold this morning, but it's very pleasant now. It's going to be probably about 20 degrees now, Celsius.
Yeah, feels a bit warmer in the sun. I'll just get a hat.
So keep local, asking how far away are they, and should we approach on foot. So keep local, we are currently about 5 meters away from them. The thing with walking safaris and approaching animals on foot is that ideally you want to approach them, view them and leave without the animals knowing that you were even there. So we don't, on walking safaris, you wouldn't get very close to them for that reason.
A lot of these animals are very afraid of humans on foot. They don't really enjoy us being around them on foot all that much. They have gotten used to the vehicles being around them, however. Welcome, KG1.
This is about the third time that cub has suckled in the last one.
Yeah.
So Mr. Jonas saying if you're on foot, they would not be there. And the truth behind that is that most of these animals here have for centuries seen this upright figure that walks around on two legs, the human form, as public enemy number one. So yeah, they saw us on foot, they would tend to run away, which is why on a walking safari you try to view them without them knowing that you were there.
It's for good reason. Attitudes have changed very much towards animals in the last 50 years. Once a lot of these predators, just about all of them, were treated as vermin, and now many of them are protected. See, buffering a bit, I don't know. Signal's not great here. How's yours looking?
So the feed's coming through now.
Okay.
Signal's gone, says Mike.
RMB asking, is she using the shade to keep cool or camouflage? Probably more to keep cool. And just forgive us, I see we are buffering a bit here. The signal has changed from very strong to very poor in a matter of 50 or so meters. Pips252 asking, any word on Hosanna the leopard? I don't think Hosanna comes onto our property. So unfortunately no, unless someone else there knows about it.
So Real Greens, we are in Malama Game Reserve, and Arjuna, with your map with you. Arjuna, if you see on your map something called the Kirkman River, kind of the river that goes east-west to the central parts of Malamana. We are just south of that river, in the kind of eastern parts of that.
So Pieter, it's a bit windy now. I don't know if you heard Pete there. So I'm just going to repeat what he said there. So we are along the Kirkman River, closer to the Kruger National Park boundary, north of the windmill. Should we maybe call it? Okay, when it comes back on, we'll call it. Okay, folks, so unfortunately our signal is dropping. I think we are going to call it a day for now, and just want to thank you all for joining us this morning. We're very happy that we can bring you this live stream of a cheetah and cub. It's special to be here at any rate, and it's extra special that we are able to share this with you all. Alright, so just in saying goodbye, I'd like to show you who's on the vehicle. And the shakes. So the Kirkman River, Arjuna, is where that tree line is. And then here's Pieter.
Thank you for watching, folks. Have a nice day.
And then Dan, who's been filming in the background.
Hi there, folks.
And then from myself, Gareth, thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to bringing you a live stream again shortly. Oops. Oh, this doesn't want to turn off here. That's wrong.